we try something, and I know you're going to get fired up at the first half of this, but just hang tight. The Undertaker the following week is going to, by the way, he kidnaps Stephanie. He returns her, which is nice of him. He's a nice Undertaker. But then the next week he crucifies Ryan Shamrock, and that leads to a singles match between Taker and Ken Shamrock at Breakdown, which is the next pay-per-view. But what I wanted to bring up is the odd promo where Ken Shamrock challenges Mark. And of course we know, listening to this, the Undertaker's real name is Mark Calloway, but it feels like it's being established that the Undertaker is a character created for TV. It's a persona that was created by Vince, but now perhaps Mark Calloway really believes he's the Undertaker. Is that what we're trying to do? That feels like another thing you would have an issue with. Once upon a time, you talked about the whole Diesel thing and that you didn't like when we started saying, well, he's really Kevin Nash, but this is that sort of worked shoot, bro. What'd you think of that creative where Ken Shamrock challenges Mark? He doesn't refer to him as the Undertaker.
I think it was an interesting way to tell the story, frankly.
Like, you've gone too far, damn it. That type deal. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
I'm not fucking around now. I'm the real MMA fighter type shit, right?
Yes. And you get to the point of, wow, what was that real or was it Memorex?
Right. And
you have people that, still to this day, and you go back, I remember as a kid sitting in section 5, row 12, seats 6, 7, and 8. And the folks behind us in row 13, there was the riser section of ringside where the guys came out right on that aisle in Houston, Texas. And behind us sat Bubba and Old Joe. These are real names. Okay. And Stella was one of the ladies that was, I think, Joe's mom. Long and short of it is, these were fans that were there every single Friday night. And they yelled and they screamed and they wanted to get that bad guy, and they rooted for Wahoo, and by God, they rooted for Jose Lothario and all this shit. But they knew, well, hey, they really friends in the back. But I want to tell you something. When they fight for them gold belts,
that's real.
It's real.
Right.
And, Jose trained Gino. When Gino turned his back on him, Jose can't forgive that. He's going to teach this boy a lesson. So there's an acceptance of, hey, man, this is entertainment. This is, we're entertaining you over here. And then there's this, is this real? And no matter what anybody says, there's still that line, if you will. And this was crossing that line a little bit, but taking it right back. And for those that went, oh, hey, I tell you what. Now, I'm pretty sure that Undertaker, that boy's real name is Mark. And Shamrock slipped up because he's pretty pissed off this time because they done got his sister. It's taking the audience on a ride, man. And I love it when you can take the audience on a ride, let them in and have fun with the damn thing. Don't take it so seriously. Enjoy it. And if you don't enjoy it, don't watch it, but enjoy it. Have fun with it.
Let's talk about the show. Undertaker's going to pin Ken Shamrock. They get plenty of time, maybe too long. 18 minutes and 50 seconds. Meltzer would say the crowd was dead. This was actually a really great match had it been held in another place. The story of the match was that Shamrock continually made smooth moves into submissions on the leg to keep Undertaker on the ground. Shamrock used the belly to belly and went for a tombstone piledriver, but Undertaker reversed it for the pin and left him laying. Star and 3/4. We've talked a lot about Ken Shamrock. I've often sort of beat the drum and said, man, Ken Shamrock coulda, shoulda, woulda been a top guy, could have been a great contender for Steve Austin's world title. JR has been pretty candid in saying, well, Ken just wasn't reliable at the time. But there was no way this was going any other way than Undertaker pinning him, right?
Well, no, and I also think that it was a great match.
Yeah.
Frankly, and it was something that Taker really wanted to do, was to have that kind of a match with that kind of opponent, that being Ken Shamrock. So you look at it that way, and it's kind of like, all right, they had a hell of a match. And I think Ken was a top guy. I think that Ken was at the top of the card and was a hell of a talent.
I don't mean to cut you off, but I do want to ask, because we know eventually the real life Mark Calloway is going to get way into MMA. Do you think he was into it here in 99? I mean, in 99, it was very much in the embryo stage of the UFC. It wasn't a part of, the conversation the way it is now. But was he excited to quote unquote grapple with an MMA guy like this? I know it's an interest of his, 4 or 5 years later.
Yeah, I think, but you also have to understand, wrestling in general was a interest of Taker that he really enjoyed. Wrestling and getting on the mat and doing that type of thing with the character of the Undertaker, and being as big as Undertaker is. For that character, you don't see that character, drop down, tackle, get it again.
Right.
You see him being the Undertaker. And this was an opportunity to show off some of those other skills. So yes, I mean, Undertaker was into it. I think we were all into it. At that point, the UFC was really no holds barred.
Right.
And, Ken had come from that world, but they were, hadn't reached the Zuffa stage yet. And they were still, Meyerowitz, and
they're trying to make money, and they're not quite there yet.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.